Welcome to Creator You.
Welcome to Viral Content Secrets. Inside of this mini training, it's condensed, there's probably be about maybe 30 minutes worth of time. We are going to teach you how to create content that, regardless of whether you're on Twitter or Instagram or YouTube or whatever, right, has to be shared, right? This is training that's going to help you guys go get your next 1,000 followers in the next 30 days. Maybe it's going to help you go get your next 10,000 followers in the next 30 days. But we want to teach you guys how to create content that is going to set you up as an authority, that's going to feed the algorithms of wherever you're trying to grow your audience, right? We want to give Facebook what it wants. We want to give Twitter what it wants. We want to give Instagram what it wants so that you reap the rewards. But this training right here is all about growing your audience. That's what it's here to do, right? So with that, let's go ahead. I'm going to jump over to our slides. And this is what we're here to do. That's me down there being weird, Scott. But yeah, Viral Content Secrets. We are here to build your authority, right? One of the biggest problems with growing an audience is that when you're just starting out, you have no authority. There's no reason for people to listen to you or talk to you or any of that kind of stuff. And this is all about how do we establish you as an authority in whatever it is that you're doing. I don't care if it's baseball training, if it's fitness coaching, if it's bird watching, if it's knitting or childcare, it does not matter, right? Whatever it is that you're doing, this is how we're going to attract your audience, grow that audience, right? And build authority. And of course, then bullet point number 2, grow your audience, right? When we were coming up with the name for this training, viral is such a silly, funny name, right? Going viral is kind of this funny thing, but it's exactly what this really is all about, right? We are viral in the sense of I'm going to take some content that you guys make and it's going to be shown by 20 million people all over the world. That's not what I'm showing here. But what I am talking about is we are going to do and create awesome content that your audience will love and that will grow your audience because it will attract and bring in the types of people who are out there that you want to reach. Not everybody, not viral like some crazy YouTube video from the days of yore, you know what I mean? But we are here to help you go viral and organic and do that for free within your market and grow that audience. And then, like I said before, we want to feed those algorithms, right? Let's talk about that for just a hot second, right? What does it mean to feed the algorithm, right? Well, Facebook, Instagram by extension, of course, YouTube, even Google, right? TikTok, all of these places, wherever it is that you want to grow your audience, Twitter included, LinkedIn, doesn't matter, right? They all have their own algorithm, right? The algorithm is what determines when you're sitting there and scrolling through a news feed or something like that, right? I pull up my phone and, for the most part, I guess really, what am I using these days? Mostly using like YouTube and Twitter, Reddit some as well. Anyway, wherever it is that you want to grow your audience, right? They all have algorithms that determine what gets shown when you're there. And so we are going to engineer and create content that's going to feed the algorithms what it wants, right? So that it turns the algorithm in your favor, right? That's the idea. We want you to know how to create content that is going to keep people on Facebook, that's going to get engagement and start conversations on Twitter, right? That's going to, increase watch time on YouTube, right? Feed each individual place the algorithm what it wants so that you reap the rewards and get more out of it. So with that, let's go ahead and dive back over here, right? Build authority, grow your audience, feed the algorithms. That is what this mini training is all about. So it all happens in basically 3 steps, okay? So let's take a look at this, right? How to go viral in your niche. We are going to start by giving you guys 52 hooks for great content. So when I say a hook, you might think like a title, a concept, a prompt, right? I'm going to give you basically 52 starting points, and maybe we'll update this later. Maybe we'll add some more to it or something kind of like that, right? But 52 is plenty. The idea here is that we're going to help you guys for the next year, right, with just what we have right here. You're going to download these hooks. You're going to have them on hand. You will have so many ideas after going through these hooks about content that's going to be great. Not, silly, dumb stuff, not stuff. And remember, every once in a while you're going to strike out, right? Even one of these hooks and the hooks that we're about to walk through, maybe one doesn't do so hot for you, right? But the idea is that you're starting from a place that's way up here. Good copywriting, right? Solid foundational sort of human psychology stuff that's going to help your content get shown far and wide. We're going to talk about where and how to post, right? So we here at Creator U, right? And by extension, our team at Samcart, right? Is we are always talking with our top sellers, people who have millions of followers on YouTube and Twitter and TikTok and whatever, right? And we basically went to them and got, okay, listen, if you were to give a blueprint, simplify everything down, how and where people should be posting and when they should be doing these kind of things, right? That's what we're going to talk about, right? So we have expert advice from the best of the best to share with you guys, right? And then most importantly is bullet point number 3, right? Where we're going to talk to you about how to get people to share your content, right? That's that viral nature, right? How do you make sure that your content isn't just being seen by, the people that are in your audience, but you got to break out of that. You've got to grow and hit more people. And that comes with people sharing, engaging, commenting, those sort of things. And how do we engineer that? Because it does not happen by accident, right? So we'll dive into some of that as well. So let's start with this, right? 52 prompts to go viral in your niche. These are the starting points, right? That we'll give you guys kind of 3 steps of how to deploy and how to use these things. But let's just look through some of these, right? So looking over here on my left, your guys, I guess left of where I am in your screen too, right? So how about something like this? What famous person or competitor is getting wrong? So, for us in the baseball world, right, the first thing Brian and I ever did, we might say something like, what Tom Amansky gets wrong about hitting, right? Tom Amansky was this guy who's sort of famous for having, these baseball instructional videos that he sold on infomercials on TV, right? So somebody in the baseball world is going to instantaneously get Tom Amansky's famous to that market, you know what I mean? And so, if you were in I don't know, what if you were in like the relationship space? You might say something like what Dr. Phil gets wrong, like about a loving marriage, right? I don't know. The idea here is that you're supposed to take these prompts and apply them to your market, your niche. So you would fill in famous person or a competitor or, whatever, something kind of like that for your market and your niche, right? So let me try and think of another really good example. You might say something like, if you were in like, I don't know, vlogging or something kind of like that. You might say something like, what Casey Neistat gets wrong about storytelling, something kind of like that. Like big, huge, recognizable name or competitor or something, right? And here's what they're getting wrong. And then you're going to write out, a quick post, a couple paragraphs. We'll get into that in just a second. But there are 52 of these things. These are prompts that are here to get your brain moving and start off on the kind of foot with a piece of content that your audience and your market specifically is going to instantaneously identify with. The next one down, how new tool, new practice, new something will revolutionize/kill your industry, right? So maybe it's revolutionize, maybe it's kill. You know what I mean? I actually wrote the example that I wrote here in a couple slides. And let me go ahead and kind of pull this one up because I think it's going to be really good. So this is one that I wrote. If you guys can kind of zoom in here. It says how plyo rings will destroy the personal training world, right? And so for me, this is the idea. I'm saying I'm taking this prompt about, how blank will revolutionize blank or how blank will kill blank, right? I'm applying it to fitness, right? And in my mind, I'm imagining, I like using exercise rings and things like that. And I just wrote a prompt, say how plyo rings will destroy the personal training world, right? And we kind of get into some of that stuff in a little bit. But you guys can see, right? Take these prompts, apply them to your world, right? How rotational hitting will, revolutionize high school baseball, right? And we have some examples. We actually dive into this one a little bit, so I won't dive in too hard on this one. But let's go to the next one. How I would invest my last $100 and rebuild my email list. If you're talking to, digital marketers, how I would invest my last $100 and rebuild, my local gym. If you're in the fitness world, right? How I invest my last $100 and rebuild, my, my baseball card collection or something. It's like whatever your market is, think critically. And all of these things, remember, all of these prompts here are just starting points. Feel free to change them around. Let them inspire other prompts. You know what I mean? You don't have to be so strict with these words and things like that, right? Maybe it's how I invest my last $1,000, right? Here's how I would invest my last $1,000 and rebuild, my crypto portfolio or my stock portfolio or something, right? It's all about changing it up and making something that these are starting points, right? These are here to make you. They're here to give you ideas that you could start writing on immediately that are going to instantaneously hook in with your audience and your market, right? And drag them in and get them to engage, get them to keep reading, right? The six misleading myths, that's a tongue twister, right? Plaguing every blank, right? The 6 misleading myths plaguing every, newlywed couple. The 6, sleep myths plaguing every, new parent, the 6 misleading myths plaguing every, female lacrosse player, whatever. You could get that specific if you want to, but the idea is replace it with something person in your industry, right? Here at Creator U, we might say something like 6 misleading traffic myths plaguing every, solopreneur, every new creator, things like that, right? The next one down, the 5 things any newbie in your industry should do first, right? The 5 things any, freshman college baseball player should do first. And I go back to baseball a lot. It's something I'm speaking to what I know, right? The 5 things any, new crafter, should do first. The 5 things any beginner woodworker should do first, right? Whatever it is in your market, apply, right? Your market to these ideas. The 3 things I do to make sure I achieve a goal, right? The 3 things I do to make sure I get a full night's sleep, right? The 3 things I do to make sure I get everything I need done, like during work hours. The 3 things I do to make sure that I always get quality time with my family, right? Like those sort of things, right? Apply it to your market. Last one, how to get benefit without pain point, right? How to get jacked without spending hours and hours in the gym, right? How to get financial freedom without working 40 hours a week. How to get, I got a lot of different ideas we're spinning up here, right? How to get a lightning fast computer without a computer science degree, right? Something kind of like that. How to get a high paying, graphic design client without, cold calling or something, right? Like that's kind of the idea, but you can see how you can apply these things. How to get a benefit without pain point your audience feels, right? 52 writing prompts. And we'll kind of go into these more in just a little bit, right? But these are the prompts. You guys can actually download this down below. It's a companion document. And here is that document. So you guys can go through these, right? I'm just going to keep scrolling. Let's just find a few more that we think are really, really interesting. I like this one. The only 5 blogs or podcasts, channels, books, profiles, whatever, that every person in your industry should read, listen, watch, right? You're not supposed to use all these words, right? So cut it down to what you think makes sense. You might say, hey, listen, here's the only 5 podcasts, that every, young married couple should listen to. The only 5 books that every beginner copywriter, should read, right? The only 5, YouTube channels, right, that every single woodworker, should check out, right? That kind of thing. But you guys see exactly what I'm doing. How blank inspired me to blank, right? So you'd say something like, how listening to such and such, listen to Elon Musk interviewed on whatever inspired me to, overcome my fear, whatever, like, that kind of stuff. But you make it specific to your market. You should be using videos and terms and all those kind of things that your market really identifies with, right? How my fear of blank made me more blank, right? How my fear of striking out, right, made me, a more complete hitter, right? How my fear of, singing in public made me a more confident performer, right? Things like that. And then you just use it as a prompt, start writing, right? A lot of these things should be pulling from your experience, right? Should be pulling from, from your brain, and these prompts are going to just endlessly spin off more and more ideas as you guys kind of keep going down. So let me just keep going here. Let's do, I like these ones, right? 5 things no person in your industry should live without, right? 5 things no high school baseball player should live without, right? We did that how to revolutionize how to kill your industry one. We did that before. Let's just go ahead. Let me see. I like this. So I'm a blank expert. Ask me anything, right? That's not really a writing prompt, but these are ones that are, once your audience starts growing, right? This is the kind of engagement stuff that's going to feed the algorithm and get you more people, right? But hey, I'm Scott. I'm a, digital marketing expert. Ask me anything, right? I'm Scott. I'm a, acoustic guitar expert. I'm not. It's just something that I kind of do, right? Ask me anything. I listened to an interview with name, right? And here are my 3 key takeaways. Fill in the blank with somebody really popular amongst your audience, right? I might even say some name, in the baseball world, right? Or in, I don't know, other hobbies and interests I have, something like woodworking or, playing the mandolin or something that other people will have no idea who this is, but it will be famous and perfect for the audience I'm trying to reach. You know what I mean? So the more you guys put your expertise, your market, your industry, right, into these things, the better, right? The three things I do to make sure we kind of talked about this before, right? Achieve a goal. You might say things like, the three things I do to make sure I get on base more than anyone else in my league, right? Baseball term. The three things I do to make sure I, make great user experiences. Maybe you're a graphic designer or a UX designer, right? The three things I do to make sure I, sell my course every day of the week. The three things I do to make sure I, grow more food on my, balcony in my urban garden, things like that. But you guys can see, guys, this is chock full. These are so many great writing prompts, right? So that's where it starts, right? It's going to start by just having some awesome writing prompts, right? Download that companion document right down below this video right now. Make sure you guys have this on hand and keep writing, right? Add to this, right? This is the kind of thing I hope you guys read through this companion document and it turns into 200 ideas, because you just say, oh man, I would love to take this and swizzle the words around and it becomes something totally new, right? Continue to sort of read into these things, right? Because it's just good content. And so let me just show you this really quick, right? This is write great content and you will grow your audience, right? You guys can take these prompts and take them anywhere, right? You have Vanessa Lau over here on the left on YouTube. She said the title of this video here is 20 huge mistakes new YouTubers make. That is literally one of the writing prompts from this document. You know what I mean? This is a guy named Zane Khan. You guys can check him out at HeyKhan on Twitter. By the way, go follow all of these creators. These are great creators. We work personally with two of them, Vanessa and Ashley. Zane is just somebody who I just follow on Twitter, is a good follower. But he's talking about managing people, right? That's kind of his market, right? And he said, most new managers suck at marketing. You're suddenly responsible for leading a team. You have no idea how to do it. I've served as a manager and executive at several companies. Here's the prompt. Here's my step-by-step cheat sheet to help you become a better leader today, right? That's the prompt. He kind of added a few sentences and that's all good. But I'm telling you, these tweets and retweets and likes, right, was way outsized compared to his audience. I think he only, at the time of the screenshot, only had like a couple thousand followers or something, right? So, and this one's kind of tough to see, but this is, at King Ashley Ann on Instagram, another awesome creator on Samcart. She is basically taking the prompt and it's just in the image on Instagram, right? So it's, boost your self-confidence in 5 steps. And she kind of walks through it, right? Has the same thing over there in the text on the left. And this had 6,000 likes, it's huge engagement for her, a ton of comments, ton of that kind of stuff, right? But the prompts are the same. Whether you take it and make it an image on Instagram, whether it becomes, you sit down and just talk through, one of your prompts and make it a YouTube video, right? Whether you take it and make it a thread on Twitter, these prompts, you'll see them all over the place. It's just a stepping stone for making great content. So it doesn't really matter where you take it. So let's get into this, okay? Step by step kind of deal here, right? So step number 1 is you're going to pick one of these hooks. And so I picked the how new tool, new practice, something like that will revolutionize or kill your industry, right? And so, let's just talk how we could do this, right? So my first example, how AI will revolutionize the advertising industry, right? And you can turn that around any different way you want. How AI is going to revolutionize the marketing industry, how AI is going to revolutionize, the scientific research community, right? It's all the different ways that you could twist and change and, whatever, right? How rotational hitting will revolutionize high school baseball, right? Rotational hitting, kind of this new idea, it's an industry term. Baseball players will get it. Other people will look at it and go, "What? I don't care. What is that?" And that's what you want. You want your market to know this is for me, right? I'm like, this person is talking to me, right? Why plyo rings will destroy the personal training world. We talked about that in a second. We'll dive in. That's kind of the one I sunk my teeth into. How made-to-order crafts are transforming early childhood development, right? There's all these pop-up companies that you can subscribe and they send you monthly crafts and toys and puzzles and all kinds of stuff, right? And it's revolutionizing early childhood development. How iPhone 14 is killing the photography industry, right? So you could totally flip this on its head. If I'm a photographer, you might go and write something like that, right? Anyway, you guys see what I'm talking about. Pick a hook, customize it for your industry. We went ahead and did this with the plyo rings example. Step number 2 is after you have your hook and you've customized it, just go write a few paragraphs. Open up notes on your phone, right? I'm a big notes person on iOS, obviously, using iPhone notes and on my Mac and stuff like that, right? But here it is. Just go write a few paragraphs, right? I took why plyo rings will destroy the personal training world. And here's what I wrote, right? This might be a little tough for you guys to see. I'll just read it out loud. if there's one tool that could completely take down the entire world of personal fitness training, it is the humble plyo ring, right? For those who don't know, plyo rings are the take-anywhere gym that costs less than a fancy burger. And here's 5 ways that plyo rings are better than a personal trainer. So maybe that right there is the opening of my YouTube video. Maybe that is the first tweet in a series of tweets. Maybe that is, the opening part of a Facebook post that then someone has to click see more to keep reading, right? But partner this with a great graphic, and that hook right there is by itself enough to start getting you more attention and gaining you more followers, right? And then I just kind of spitballed on this one. I'm not an expert on this kind of stuff. I like plyo rings. It's something I kind of use personally, but I just kind of went through it. I was like, rings are cheap, right? Rings can fit in your backpack. You're much less likely to get hurt than going to under some big heavy squat rack. You can work out faster. You can, all kinds of free resources out there, whatever. And then that's the content, right? So then the bulk of it is just going to be you spitballing, kind of establishing your authority and talking about, your experience, things you like, things you don't like, whatever, right? This is the meat. This is why someone's really here. The hook draws them in. The content gives them value. It teaches them something. You want someone to walk away from one of these posts thinking, damn, that was sick. I really got a lot out of that, right? That's what you want. And then the last piece, all right, is the call to action, right? We talked about this. This is really, really important. And let me read my call to action. That's what CTA stands for, call to action. So I ended this with, if you want to check out rings, here's a link to my favorite ones on Amazon. And if you want more awesome content about how to get ripped without going to the gym, follow me at Scott Moran here on Instagram, right? Just an example. You could put whatever you want there, right? Follow me here on Twitter, right? Subscribe to my YouTube channel, right? But what I want you guys to do is get really good at, and then I finished up with, did I miss anything? Have you used rings yet? Let me know down below, right? Ask an engaging question. Ideally, you wouldn't ask 2, honestly. I think I kind of goofed that one up. You might just say, did I miss anything? And leave it, right? Open-ended question, inviting people to go in and get in there and get in the comments and things like that. But let's take a look specifically at the call to action part, right? A really strong call to action should be something like this. If you want more awesome content about how to blank, follow me here on Twitter, follow me here on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube, whatever the medium you have chosen here is, right? But if you want more awesome content about how to blank, right? Big benefit. Put a big benefit in there. What is your audience really after? They want to, get jacked without going to the gym. They want to, achieve financial security for their friends and family. They want to, get into med school. Whatever the big benefit your people are after is hey, if you want awesome content about blank, follow me right here. You're establishing yourself as the authority. You're inviting people to follow you and engage more and see more of your stuff, right? And then ask one open-ended question. That's how you write a really strong call to action, okay? So, step 1, pick your hook, okay? Customize it. That's your entrance, right? Step 2, open up notes and just start writing. Doesn't need to be crazy long, right? This could have been bullet points and I sit down and record a YouTube video, right? This could have been something that's short that I sit down and record a 90-second TikTok, right? Whatever it might be. Then you're going to write that call to action, right? It's going to look a lot like this one right here, okay? And then you're moving on. Step number 3 is to post on social. And that's kind of it. This is the whole thing, right? Actually, let me go ahead. I'll move my face. We'll bring my cell phone down here, right? Go post on social media. Okay. And here's our guidance. We have a lot of training here in Creator U, and let me just go ahead and publish or take you guys. I want to show you this. The next thing you should go watch should be a Creator U training about whatever channel you want to use, right? You want to use Facebook ads. You want to use Facebook organic or YouTube or Instagram or whatever. We have a lot of different trainings that will teach you all you need to know about one specific social media platform, right? So we're not going to get really, really in the weeds here about how to post and best practices and whatever. But here's my call to action, and this is our recommendation that we've gotten after talking with a bunch of our best creators, right? Is go all in on one platform first. Okay, choose a platform. I'm choosing Twitter. I'm choosing LinkedIn. I'm choosing Facebook. I'm choosing, whatever. I'm choosing TikTok. Go all in on one platform. Okay, know the norms of that platform. So something like Instagram, right, is going to be really visual. So maybe on Instagram, you're going to have, you'll rely more on a great image that maybe on the image, you're going to outline some of that, some of your content is like Ashley Ann's example, right? If we kind of back up a touch, actually, if we go here, Ashley's example here on Instagram on the far right, as you guys are looking at it on the far right of the screen, she took the content, the bulk of it, and put it on the image itself, right? So maybe she's using something like Canva. The example right here with Vanessa, right, on YouTube, the norms really are just sit down and start talking. You want a really good hook in the front, you know what I mean? And then you just kind of talk through your content, right? And do that kind of stuff. On Twitter, maybe it means taking the content and breaking it up into a thread. So people have a chance to read one and then, go from one tweet to the next tweet in a thread and go on down. And in that way, right, if you, again, know the norms of your platform, you'll see how you can use these hooks, use these content, right, and put it out there in a way that makes sense for Twitter, for YouTube, for TikTok, for whatever it is that you choose, right? And then the number one advice that we got from our creators for you guys, right? Whether you have 100,000 followers and you're trying to get to 1 million, whether you have no followers and you're trying to get to 1,000, right? Was post often, right? It is always about more consistent action over time is how you do these things. And it starts to snowball, right? So if you have a small audience now, right, your audience is going to grow maybe by a couple dozen, you know what I mean? Like right off the bat, maybe this is something in the next week. It'd be sick if you got 100 new followers, but you might 6 months from now start getting 100 followers a day, right? These things speed up and they do this kind of stuff. The metaphor that we got from somebody was you'd rather hit 25 bunts, right? Not swing for the fences and try to hit one home run, right? Post often. And then this is kind of our recommended schedule, right? So if you're on Instagram, 3 posts a day, and that might be 2 images and a reel, right? On Facebook, 3 times a day, same thing. Maybe it's an image and 2 reels or something, it's like mix and match these kind of things. On Twitter, you should be posting 3 times a day, and maybe you're using 1 mega thread every single week, which is a mega thread is what you would do using one of these prompts, right? So TikTok, 3 to 5 quick videos a week. YouTube, 1 to 2 videos a week. Maybe it's a video and then it's a short of the same content, right? LinkedIn, 1 time every single day. And so it's not that you guys need to write one of these big long posts 3 times a day, right? But what they're saying is that you sort of have like a post like this one is that you're going to use one of these prompts on is like your big awesome posts. And maybe on Twitter you post 2 of these a week, but you're filling in the blanks with the rest with just sort of normal posting, normal content type stuff. But this is where you cash in, right? Using these kind of posts are like the big stick of dynamite, you know what I mean, thrown into the lake that you're going to try and, go out there and get. So, the advice that we've gotten is great content like this. If you can publish this more, awesome, right? If you need to, need more time and only have time to post 2 or 3 of these a week, great. You know what I mean? On something like Facebook and Instagram where we're asking you to post multiple times a day, these big posts, save them, use them sparingly, and then find other things to post throughout the day that are easier. You know what I mean? Individual questions or fun personal stuff or, whatever. But these big threads, you know what I mean? The kind of more meaty content idea type stuff, right? This is the kind of thing you should be posting multiple times a week. And yeah, that's pretty much, that's the feedback we've gotten, right? Again, we do a lot of organic stuff, right? But we do a lot of, we're weird. We create a lot of different content, a lot of Facebook ads, a lot of that kind of stuff, right? So that's why I lean on these guys' advice, the people that we've asked, not necessarily on ours, well, right? So then partner your thread with a great image, right? I say thread, whatever you want to call this, right? Partner your big content post, right, with a great image. If it's on Instagram, we've already talked about how you might go to Canva, right, and make your own image, right, and actually have text over the image. Places that we like going, Unsplash, Pexels is another one, right? Unsplash.com, Pexels. I think it is .com, might be .io. It's been a minute, I'm not sure. But anyway, Pexels is a great one. You guys can go get great images like this one. Start studying, right? Study what's working with people you follow on Twitter, Instagram, wherever, right? And start making sense of, okay, what kind of things are they posting, right? But you want a great visual to go with this piece of content, something that's related. If I'm talking about baseball, maybe I take a picture of like, me gripping a baseball bat and it's like up close and it's kind of goofy and weird. It's like, oh, cool, it's baseball, but whatever. You want a great image that catches the eye, right? And so here are great places to go get really high quality images. Canva, you can go make your own images, all of that good stuff, but definitely use these resources. They are royalty free, find ways to create your own cool images too. You know what I mean? Use your phone and take pictures of something you wrote in a notebook, right? All of that good stuff, but study what people are doing out there in the world that works, stuff that's grabbing your eye, and then man, make your own version of it. You know what I mean? Do that kind of stuff. But that is how you're going to create great content like this one, right? You will start seeing these sort of prompts and things like that. You will start seeing them everywhere. I promise, right? Again, Vanessa Lau over here on the left, right? 20 huge mistakes new YouTubers make. That is almost word for word one of the prompts that we have for you guys in here, right? Here's a step-by-step cheat sheet to help you become a better leader today, right? Great things. All right, 5 ways to boost your self-confidence, right? So all you guys can see different markets, different applications, right? But starting with a great hook is how we are going to make sure that your content is going to get seen. So again, download that resource down below. We have the Viral Content Secrets, 52 hooks. You guys print it out, write out more, turn your 52 into 100, into 200, right? Just let the ideas keep coming, write everything down. And yeah, that's 3 steps to go viral in your niche, right? Pick a hook, write a few paragraphs, include that strong call to action, post on social media, right? Be consistent, get your stuff out there. And then really, there's a 4th step. The 4th step here I'm gonna put in, right, is engage and study, okay? When people do comment down below, right, engage with it. Every single social media platform wants that kind of engagement. They want to see that when you post something, right, that it quickly gets likes and comments and engagement. And when you comment back, it invites more comments and more likes and more engagement. And you will see, you know, we have creators here that have threads like this that have been alive for years. I was just talking to Molly Mahoney, who's somebody who has another mini course here, and she's got one thread on her Facebook profile that's just personal Facebook, nothing major, that's still like, what is it? She's posted it like over 18 months ago and is still getting tons of action, still gets people into her world, right? Is still growing her follower count and things like that. And it's huge, right? Engage with your people, study what big people that you like following that have big followings, study what they're doing, what kind of images are they putting in, what is their call to action, you know, what are they asking people to do, or what kinds of questions are they asking that are getting more engagement, right? Keep feeding those algorithms what they want, and a lot of times that means engaging, right? So spend 10 minutes a day, answer questions, comment back, you know what I mean, go do that kind of stuff. Oh, and biggest single piece of advice that we got was, when you're just starting out, find the big people in your market and comment under their stuff like this, right? Go find their best content and be somebody who is adding to the conversation, right? Who's recommending new resources, who is, you know, tacking on an extra like little tidbit, you know what I mean? Share big wins that you know, somebody who is a big, you know, market person in your world, you know what I mean? Share big wins that they helped you unsee. Hey, I was listening to, you know, a podcast from XYZ today, tag them, right? And here's 3 things I learned. You know, you could get a retweet from that person. You could get a share. You could have somebody shout you out in a YouTube video, right? Engage with really big audiences in your world, right? And watch your follower count really take off. So really want to do that thing. Engage and study. That's really step number 4. It's an ongoing process for sure. So what is next? All right, for those of you guys who are looking for what's next, what do I do after this training? Obviously, download the hooks sheet that downloaded down below, the companion doc. Start writing, right? But you can also go check out any of these trainings here in Creator U. You can learn about different social media platforms and how to succeed on them from the pros who have gone viral on them, right? So we have stuff about podcasting, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. We have trainings on TikTok. We've got trainings on Facebook ads, right? All kinds of stuff in here. Definitely go check any one of these out. A number of them that are, all of them available here, right, in the Netflix library for creators. That is Creator U. Definitely go check that out. If you haven't checked them out yet, definitely go check out the Creator Blueprint. The Creator Blueprint is kind of like your one-stop shop for identifying a product, a service, something you could sell to your audience that will never fail, right? So make a killer business idea, verify that it works, and learn how to market it with a 1-page business plan, right? So it's not just, it is, how do I verify my idea is going to work out in the market? The Creator Blueprint is exactly how you do that. And then 4 steps to launch. If you guys want to watch how we would launch a business, we did a physical book, a physical product, we did a course, we did an ebook, we did a service. So we have 4 different examples for you to check it out. But if you want to see how we would launch any business in 4 quick steps, go watch 4 steps to launch, okay? Watch me set up and customize one simple page designed on Samcart that's designed to sell whatever it is that you might be selling, right? And maximize your profit from it. But yeah, definitely go check those out. Creator Blueprint, 4 steps to launch, tons of awesome stuff to like in there. That has been viral content secrets. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Definitely go check out the companion doc down below. Start posting and let us know. Okay, I want to hear about big wins that you have from this. If you take this to heart and post one a day for the next week, you know what I mean? I want to hear how many new followers you picked up, right? Even if it's I went from 100 to 200, right? If I went from 1,000 to 1,500, you know what I mean? If you're these big growths, even if you're small and you're early on, you know what I mean? I want to hear about it. Especially want to hear about it if you went from 100,000 to 120 or something like that. I definitely want to hear about those kind of things. But this is how you do it. Okay, get consistent, post great content, engage with people, and give them a reason, right? Give them a reason to engage more with you, and to share that content right there. So, guys, hope you enjoyed this one. I am Scott Moran on behalf of the entire Creator U team. Thank you for watching. Download that right down below, and we'll see you in the next Creator U training.